Hello all. So we have been into a very thrilling adventure on the Naviram Hills. We have met people, we have seen animals, we have been given a lot of warnings by the poet as well. So we shall travel along with the poet further and see what the hills have to offer us. மலையில் தோன்றும் பலவித ஒலிகளை கேட்டல் கலைத்தொடு பெரும் பழம் புன்கூர்ந்த ஊரலின் மலை முழுதும் கமழும் மாதிரம் தோணும் அருவி நுகரும் வானர மகளிர் வருவிசை தவிரோடு வாங்குப்பு குடைதோறும். When the chimp duck jackfruits ooze from their cracks, the fragrance echoes all around the mountain. The celestial dames who plunge in the cascade scoop the noisy waters in their dainty hands. We are going to be given detailed description about the various sounds that we can hear on top of the mountain as we travel. And this is the titular part of the poem, Malaipadukadaam, which is the various sounds that emit from the hilltop. So the first set of sounds that the poet tells us is the huge jackfruits that fall from the trees are broken open by small baby monkeys. And when they crack open the jackfruit, it produces a small noise, and even that is echoed on the mountain, he says. And along with the sound, the wafting smell or fragrance of the jackfruit is also spread in the air. And they might find a couple of women taking bath in the smaller ponds along the waterfalls. And when they play with the waters, their laughter is also added along with the sounds. தெரியிமிழ் கொண்ட நும்மியம் போல் இன்னிசை இலங்கை ஏந்து மறுப்பின் இனம் பிரிவுறுத்தல் விலங்கல் மீமிசை பனவை காணவர் புலம்புக்கு உண்ணும் புரிவளை பூசல் செய்யளை பள்ளி எஃகு உறும் முள்ளின். Like the crystal music that escapes your instruments, fitted with polished ivory from a strayed elephant, captured by the watchful forest dwellers guarding their fields, the noise from far caves that hold prickly thorny quilled porcupines. The next set of sound is from a wailing porcupine. He says that the wailing of a porcupine which is hiding inside the caves long away is somewhat similar to an untouched or unpolished instrument carried by the musicians. So he is being sarcastic over here. ஈத்தர விழுக்கிய காணவர் அழுகை கொடுவரி பாய்தென கொழுனர் மார்பின் நெடுவசி விழுப்புன் தனிமார் காப்பென அரல்வாழ் கூந்தல் கொடிச்சியர் பாட தலைநாள் பூத்த பொன்னினர் வேங்கை. That heard them wailing natives too, husbands braving chests wounded by crouching tigers. Have the wives as loud prayers for healing those deep gashes, songs of the wavy-haired damsels on the hill, the newest bloomed kin of flowers. The next set of sounds that we hear is that one of an anguish. Hunters who go to the forest sometimes get hurt. They might be hurt by crouching tigers, hiding behind trees or bushes. And such hurt hunters are being nursed back to health by their wives. And these wives' prayers are heard along with other sounds on the mountains. மலைமார் இடுவும் ஏமம் பூசல் கன்று அறைப்பட்ட கயத்தலை மடைப்பிடி வலிக்கு வரம்பு ஆகிய கணவன் ஓம்பில் ஒன் கேழ்வய புலி பாய்ந்த என கிளையோடு நெடுவரை இயம்பும் இடியுமிழ் தளங்குரல். Desired by the hill damsels who shout out, the grunts of a pregnant elephant cow, whose bull was out in search of food attacked by a vicious tiger, laments her loss with her thunderous roars. Next, we are given two different sounds. One is by a group of women who shout Vengai. Vengai actually refers to panther, but it also refers to kino flowers which are small and yellow in color. So, dames who live on hilltop shout Vengai, Vengai as if they are signaling for a panther in sight, but actually they are rejoicing over the fact that the kino flowers have fully bloomed. The next set of sounds that we hear is very deep, thunderous, loud, full of sorrow. That is produced by a she-elephant which is crying out loud because its mate has been killed by a tiger. கைகோள் மறந்த கருவிரல் மந்தி அருவிடர் வீழ்ந்த தன் கல்லா பார்ப்பிற்கு முரியமே யாக்கை கிளையொடு துவன்றி சிறுமையுற்ற களையா பூசல் கலை கையற்ற காண்பின் நெடுவரை. The black-fingered monkey that lost her grip around her untrained kid trapped in the ravine deep joined back a troop to nibble on tender leaves with non-stop wails that hit the tallest peaks, unstopped by the male monkeys. The next set of sound described the poet is also a very sad one because he says that they might hear the wailing sound of monkeys. This is because one of the female monkeys would have lost her kid in the deep moat along the waterfall. He says that even though the monkeys would have moved on from the spot, unable to rescue the small one, the wails of the female monkeys would still ring in the air. நிலை பெய்து இட்ட மால்பு நெறியாக பெரும் பயன் தொகுத்த கொள்கொள்ளை அரும் குறும்பெறிந்த காணவர் உவகை திருந்துவேல் அன்னர்க்கு விருந்து இறை சான்மென நரவு நாள் செய்த குறவர்த்தம் பெண்டிரோடு மான்தோல் சிறு பறை கரங்க கல்லென வான்தோய் மீமிசை அயரும் குறவை நல்லெழில் நெடுத்தேர் இயவு வந்தன்ன கல்யாறு ஒலிக்கும் விடர்முழங்கு இறங்கு இசை நெடும் சுழிப்பட்ட கடுக்கண் வேளத்து. Scaling the cliff with firm bamboo ladders, scathing the giant combs dripping with honey. With glee they bring down the mighty forts for their beloved spear-handed king, worthy of the native gifts. The mountain tribal couple who made merry day along, beating loud palm drums made of deer's hide, dancing their traditional gig on those vast mounds, much like enchanting chariots they speed on roads. A wild river flows loud and clear on rocks and pebbles, the groans of wild elephants rescued from whirlpools. Now, the next set of sounds that we hear are from people who have climbed up tall cliffs to bring down honeycombs. The act of climbing up, the act of cutting the comb down and climbing down, all these are heard along with other sounds. The poet says that they might also hear the sounds produced by the celebrations that go on in the tribes people. They might be singing, they might be dancing, they might be beating their drums. So all these sounds will also be added along with other sounds heard on the mountains. He explains yet another set of sounds. He says that sometimes elephants might have slipped and fallen into the whirlpools down below. Their groans would also add to the sounds. உறவு சினம் தனித்து பெரிவெளி பிணிமார் விரவு மொழி பயிற்றும் பாகர் ஓதை ஒலிகளை தட்டை புடையுனர் புனம்தோறும் கிளிக்கடி மகளிர் விழிப்படு பூசல் இனத்தின் தீர்ந்த துளங்கைமில் நல்லேறு மலைத்தலை வந்த மறையான் கதழ் விடை மாறா மைந்தின் ஊறுபட தாக்கி கோவலர் குறவோடு ஒருங்கு இயந்த ஆர்ப்ப வள்ளிதழ் குளவியும் குறிஞ்சியும் நல்லேறு பொருவும் கல் என் கம்பலை. That are tied to posts to cool of temper, yakking of the mahouts who spoke strange tongues, to slapsticks sounds in fields to ward off fowls, peals of dames to chase the parrots off the millets, grunt of the lone wandering bull with fine hum, the speeding stag from cliffs yonder, but one another never backing off. The din of herders and natives uproars, throwing flowers and crushing the petals to pulp as they cheer the fight of fine bulls. The poet moves on and he gives explanation about more of the sounds heard on the hills. He says that sometimes when the elephants slip and fall into the whirlpools and they groan, they would be saved by mahouts who speak different languages, and their sounds would also be heard. They would sing and have slapsticks accompanying their songs, and that sound also would be heard. He also says that far away, they might even hear two bulls fighting with each other, followed by the cheers of the tribe's people. This will also add to the sound list heard on Naviram Hills. Kandal tudupin kamalpada ochi, vankol palavin sulayvilai தீப்பழம் உண்டு படமிச்சில் கால் பயன் கொள்மார் கன்று கடா உருக்கும் மகார் ஓதை மழை கண்டு அன்ன ஆலை தோறும் ஏரேரென களை கண்ணுடைக்கும் கரும்பின் ஏத்தமும்
தினைக்குறு மகளிர் இசைப்படு வள்ளையும் சேம்பும் மஞ்சளும் பூம்பினர் காப்போர் பன்றி பறையும் குன்றகம் சிலம்பும் என்றிய அனைத்தும் இயந்து ஒருங்கி ஈண்டி அளவும் மிசையவும் துவன்றி பலவுடன் அலகை தவிர்த்து வெள்ளரும் திருத்த மலைப்படுகடாம் மாத்திரம் இயம்ப.
The rustle of the flowers against their thickly stems, the ripened jackfruits that hang low, left in half to seed again, young ones who eat the fruit and moo like little calves. Like the splatter of raindrops the mills do sound when they crush the sweet canes rapidly, the sweet-sounding song by women with mortars, those that guard the yams and turmeric tubes. From wild pigs by hitting the palm drums, nature sounds from cliffs, tops and more. In the ravines and pits and mountain peaks altogether, infinite numbers beyond wonders of nature, mount tones that ooze from directions 8. He goes on to give more of the sounds heard on the mountains, like when the flowers go against their stems, they make some rustling sound. That is also heard very clearly. And when kids play and break open jackfruits, they eat it, relish it, and they moo like little calves. That is also heard. And far away, there is a mill that is crushing sugar canes, producing sound like that of raindrops. That is also heard. And there is a song somewhere spreading in the air, sung by women who are crushing paddy. And there are also guards who are hitting the palm drums to keep wild pigs away from their yams and gingers. With all these sounds in the air, it echoes in every ravine, in every peak of the Naviram Hills. And it echoes in all 8 directions. Nannanadu Malai. Kuruvu kan pinayil kodai mahalir, முழவு துயில் அறியா வியலுள் ஆங்கன், விளவின் அற்று அவன் வியல் கண் வெற்பே, கண் டன் என கண்டும் கேட்டும், உண்டற்கு இனிய பல பாராட்டியும், இன்னும் வருவதாக நமக்கு என தொல்முறை மரபினர் ஆகி பல்மான், செருமிகு புகழும் திருவார் மார்பன், ஒரு முறவு கருவிய பெருமலை பிற்ப, இரும்பூத்து கங்கிலிய இன்குரல் விரலியர், நறுகார் அடுக்கத்து குறிஞ்சி பாடி, கைத்தொழு பரவி பளிச்சினர் களிமின். The King's Mount. Those sweet dames with garlanded necks in a place where the drums don't nap, celebrations on the tall peaks, a feast for eyes and ears so good. Taste buds satiated, sweet things said, beckoned again with love like ancestral kins of ages before, who won battles and praises like the broad-chested man of the peaks brushed by clouds and lightnings. Play your lutes and let the names sing on the dark, musky mountains, the song of the hills, with palms brought together to praise him before you leave. Here the poet says that the mountain is very sweet because of the sweet people living over there. He says that they should stay over there, accept the hospitality rendered by the sweet people, and they are generous, just like their king who is equally generous. And he says that they can entertain the people or the tribes there by playing their instruments and singing a song for them, probably on the king himself. So let us join them as they sing and play their instruments and rest for the day. Catch you in the next part. Thank you.